Uh, Good morning. It's already 11:42, so we are 12 minutes late. Um, but let me begin by thanking Dr. Manasi, Dr. Durafe for inviting me to come over here. I'm so pleased to be here. And it's really a privilege to share the dais with Madam Mane and Mr. Patwardhan and Mr. Jan and Mr. Tulu and with you all people. Let me confess that whatever I would have said, Madam Mande had already said. Whatever conclusions he has given, that's what I have been doing last 40 years. Whether it is a microbiome, so we published on that. How light resets, how the food resets. And I have worked on large mammals as well as on birds, but mostly I like to work birds, so that's what I did 4.5 decades. In spite, Department of Science Technology tried to lure me to work on mammals with the condition that they want to give me as much money as I want. But I said, I'm a professor, I don't work for money. I like birds, and therefore, fortunately, I'm not going to talk on any of research which I have done, because I thought that this is not the audience to get into the technical things. So if you want to really know about me, my work, so you can Google Vinod Kumar, Delhi University, and you will find all the papers, all the data, all the graphs, and if you want to discuss with it, we are always available. Now, what I'm going to do then, right? So I'm going to do, to discuss with you some of the general things which really we don't want to discuss. For instance, so let's consider this. Although this is a very small sample, how many of you were born between June and December? Can you raise your hands? June and December. Please again here. June and December. So now if you count and you do this exercise, most people's birthday falls between June and December. And this we are human. Give and take 270 to 280 days. That's what my mother and father, my falls on October, would have decided to have me. Now, in those times, there were no decision. It happened. There was no planning. It's 21st century thing. So, think about 280 or 270 days ago, I was conceived. Is it natural? Yes, of course it is natural. Now, what is the implication? If we know that the children are going to be born during those times of the year, we can prepare our hospitals. We can, government can do vaccination, prepare vaccination, and so on and so forth. So this is one fundamental thing which never changes. Anywhere in the world you go, at any latitude you go, at any climate you go, so this is not going to change. Okay? So now, also, it's all designed. You like to get up in the morning, or you don't like to get up. So either you are a lark, or you are an owl, or you are in between. Now, what is the implication? The implication is that if you know your preferred time, then you can be more productive. That's very simple. And we'll, discuss this a little later if the time permits. Now, let's consider this. In nature, what are the most important entities? Can anybody answer this? What do you consider the most important thing in your life? Right? Let's not waste time. And this is life and death. These are the two important things. Rest of the thing is, I don't think anything matters. We all worry when we have kids, and we don't worry, but with all certainty we are going to die. With all certainty. And these two things are not interesting to me anyway. What is really interesting? What is really interesting to me is this. Variability. So, Gauss, I was as much successful as Professor Pandey is, or Mr. Jain is, or somebody else is. We are not equal. I mean, Darwin said this, but Darwin was also recognized some facts which were already existing in the nature. He didn't discover anything. He explained some of the thing. Now, variability, but there is another hidden thing in this variability. Is this. And those of you who are old enough have watched Ramayana, and the Ravana was following Kal because he was told that you will also die. He said, well, if I control Kal, time, I'll not die. As simple as that. He couldn't do it. Nobody knows what is time, right? Nobody knows. Make no mistakes. If I ask anyone privately, everybody thinks that I know the time. Same thing with chronobiology. You go to any medical hospital, any physiology department, at least in India, and you say, do you know chronobiology? Oh yeah, circadian rhythms. They have no clue about chronobiology, but they claim, but if you ask me, doesn't do as good as it should, right? What is time? So what is the safest answer would be? Or koi alternative? So if no one asks me, I will tell you that the safest answer is I don't know it. And if I want to explain it, then I should say I don't know. So everybody knows, but nobody knows. Now, if nobody knows, we all have a definition. We all have a definition of time. Time we can just measure whatever the way we want. And I don't want to get into, but today I will just talk about two aspects of time. One is interval time. The other one is biological time. Can we go to the next one, please? Okay. Everybody has explained this. Is that clear? You happen to be in a doctor's appointment. That person with question mark has gone inside. And you start cursing. I don't know what is going to say. Same with parent-teacher meeting. Right? Oh, सारी बात पूछ लेगा. आज कुछ नहीं छूटेगा. Right? Now, your 2 minutes, even 2 minutes becomes like 20 minutes. Like, is that sounds familiar? Right? So let's do an exercise. जब मैं बोलूँगा 3, 2, 1, जब मैं 1 बोलूँगा, प्लीज घड़ी की तरफ नहीं देखिएगा, ना काउंट करिएगा. When your 15 seconds done, you raise your hand. समझ में आया क्वेश्चन? आपका जब 15 सेकेंड हो जाए तो हाथ ऊपर कर दीजिएगा. आपका, पड़ोसी का नहीं. राइट? 3, 2, 1. टाइम स्टार्ट्स नाउ. योर 15 seconds. थैंक यू. अब आप देखिए, सबका 15 सेकेंड्स अलग अलग है. सबका 15 सेकेंड. और फिर हम कहते हैं कि हमारा टाइम नहीं है, उनका टाइम है. गड़बड़ हो गया ना? नेक्स्ट वन. प्रॉब्लम है कि दिस टाइम डिपेंड्स ऑन योर इमोशन. You are angry, you are fearing, you are very happy, right? सुख के क्षण बीते रे भैया. Then you are neutral, you are disgusted, you are sad, you are shameful. Now think about this time. Your time changes according to the mood you are in, right? Can we go to the next one, please? Wait a minute. Okay. And this do exercise. Let's say there is India-Australia match or India-Pakistan match. The last over, right? 12 runs, 6 balls. Right? Now time 2 divided by time 1. That means if time 2 is longer, then the division would be more than 1. Right? Now if your team is drawing, then you come close to little longer. Your same minute, same time tends to be, longer. If you are loser side, if those runs are Pakistani have to make, you always think, jaldi se, kitna time lag raha hai bowling mein. And then if your winning team is, अरे कैसा मारा छक्का निकल गया है पहले में. Now think about in terms of your own time perception. And this is going to be very useful for you in your day-to-day life. We will come to that later. Can we go to the next one, please? So now this is crucial. This is interval time. This has nothing to do with the biological time. ये वही time है जब आप रेड लाइट पे खड़े होते हैं और सब आदमी रेड लाइट की तरफ देखता होता है, या ये वो वही वाला टाइम है, रेड लाइट वाला. ये इंटरवल टाइम है. या एक फेमस जोक है कि गधे को पता नहीं चलता कितनी घास खा लिया, जब पीछे जाता है तो उसको पता चलता है कि जब देखता है. इट इज क्रूशियल फॉर मेनी कॉग्निटिव प्रोसेसिंग. हम में से कितने लोग, कुछ लोग होंगे दोस्तों के साथ आप डिनर पे जाइए और खाते रहेंगे, आप बहुत धीरे खाते हैं, आपका पेट भी नहीं भरा है, लेकिन सब खा के हाथ धुल लिए, आप कहेंगे बस हमारा हो गया. नहीं, हम तो इतने खाते हैं. इट्स कॉग्निटिव प्रोसेस. वी आर ऑल स्मार्ट, मेक नो मिस्टेक्स. प्रोफेसर मांडे जितने स्मार्ट है, आप में उतने स्मार्ट होंगे, लेकिन इनका रिएक्शन टाइम डिफरेंट होगा, आपका रिएक्शन टाइम डिफरेंट होगा. गिवन द टाइम your students, even you consider not so intelligent, same intelligence. There is nothing like intelligence, even it's very debatable subject. But it's the cognitive processing which really matters. Then requires an optimal dopaminergic function, right? Now, then affected by dopaminergic drugs, for example, all this, if you inject, people have done it, if you give the L-dopa, you can improve it. But it also depends on the time of the day. मैथमेटिक्स का क्लास हर बच्चे के लिए मॉर्निंग और इवनिंग एक तरह का नहीं होता है. एंड यू डू दिस सिंपल एक्सरसाइज. 24, 36, 22 कुछ भी 3 डिजिट लिख लीजिए और दिन के कई टाइम पर अपने ही जोड़िए. याद न रखिए क्या जोड़ था, डिजिट बदल दीजिए. कब आप जोड़ घटा रहे हैं उसके हिसाब से. Nowadays क्या है, what the students do? Oh, we will study at night. Night is not for studying anyway, my dear. I mean, why are you studying at night? Your cognitive processes are not going to be healthy. Your microbiome is not at optimal pace. Your gut is not saying you to do. The brain is directly connected to the gut. As I had told you that many autism and other related things are because of the diet, right? And now we are doing. Next, please, just go further. इसी में है भाई, इसी में नीचे और भी है शायद. Anyway, just don't worry about it. So what is then biological timing? Because I just wanted to make a distinction, because many times we don't know. Biological time is if anything is repeatable, that means it comes again and again at defined interval of time. For example, if I say today, tomorrow, day after, it is not a biological time. If I say morning of today to morning of tomorrow to morning of day after, to morning of day after, it becomes biological time. For instance, sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni, sa, ni, dha, pa, ma, ga, it becomes rhythm. So what is the rhythm? If the events are spaced at a defined and repeatable intervals, they make a waveform which we call rhythm. Can we go to the next one, please? So now, this is a physics, right? We all have done this particular exercise, simple harmonic motion. As long as there is energy in the spring, this will keep on doing it. As long as there is energy in you, you keep on doing it. Now, you always hear Swami Vivekananda was the great philosopher. He spoke on zero for 18 hours, 16 hours. Anybody can speak on zero. Why? Can we just hit again? Yeah, yeah. So let's see how zero is made. Zero is made because of variation around a mean time. That's what zero is. We always like encircling. You take breakfast, you get up in the morning, first you wake up in the morning, then you get up in the morning. So these are the two phenomena. And those I consider the best people whose wake up time and get up time is very close. Otherwise, mummy please 2 minutes और सो जाने दीजिए. So wake up time, get up time, then natural call, that's under biological clock control. That is why 3 o'clock flight is not very good, because your natural call you are not ready. Then you go to your daily chorus, again do the same thing. Now tell me, has anybody ever think or thought that morning will not come? कोई नहीं. आप उस पेशेंट से भी सोचिए जो आईसीयू में है, वो भी कल के लिए प्लान करता है, राइट? हम सब लोग सोचते हैं कि सुबह आएगी. हम में से कौन सोचता है शाम आएगी? Unless you have important appointment. Now this is what is called, it's anticipation. If you can anticipate, you are a winner. If you don't anticipate, you are a loser. So if the body anticipates, the body is winner. If the body cannot anticipate, it's a loser. Now this is what the biological clock is all about. Good. So if biological clocks helps us to anticipate when is the good time to come, it is going to the lunch time, it is going to the breakfast time, it is going to the meet your friends. Think about if you give a time to your friend and you don't go and meet him or her. It's a disaster. If your body tells you that, okay, lunchtime is going to, and all secretions are there, all enzymes are ready to receive the food, you don't eat food. And this is new way for girls to reduce the body mass. By not eating. It's not by eating good thing, but not eating. But they don't tell their body that I will not eat, right? They need to tell their body that, okay, knowledge is anticipation. Now, this is all kind of, let's go ahead. Now, how rhythm should look like, right? So this is, I'm sure Dr. Prashant would have taught you, but this is just one slide, maybe overlapping with him. So these are, if I tell you all these values, any physicist can draw for you the rhythm. Any algorithm people can come and draw. If we give them, chemicals, they can draw a rhythm, they can design the drug, you can eat it. And with all due apology, that's what liking between Ayurveda and allopathy. Whereas allopath people, regardless how we criticize them, they were happily able to tell us, the Ayurveda people, right from Lord Dhanvantari, we have the famous saying that that's how God did. We Indians never wanted to tell the next generation. कर लीजिए ऐसे होता है. You ask your teacher, अरे मान लीजिए ऐसे होता है, यू आस्क योर पेरेंट्स, कर लीजिए ऐसे होता है, हमारे दादी ने ऐसे अचार बनाना सिखाया था, रेसिपी नहीं बताएंगे आपको. And that is why Ayurveda lasts. It's not because Allopatha, you know. So even if the Ayurveda treatment is good, but you don't know how it acts, that's where we fail, right? So now if you give all these kind of measurement, you can draw the rhythm, right? Okay, go ahead, next one. And again I come and to school children I tell them this कि भाई कुछ नहीं करने की जरूरत है. अब तो लड़के भी दिन भर जाते रहते हैं मिरर के पास, लड़कियां कम जाती हैं मैडम आजकल लड़के ऐसे ऐसे करते रहते हैं जा करके. आप मिरर के पास जाइए, अपनी फोटो खींचिए और फोटो को डिजिटाइज कर लीजिए और प्लॉट कर दीजिए, और अगर आपका रिदमिक पैटर्न ना आ जाए तो मुझे आप बताइएगा. हमारा स्किन भी, even if you apply vitamin all the time, still it does what it does, right? So now there is a continuous varying phenotype. Can we go to the next one, please? Be careful. आप जैसा चाहें रिदम की रिसर्च में वैसे रिजल्ट आ जाता है. Here is an example. If you have only 4 times measurement, you will come at very different conclusion than you have a 24 times measurement. Same hormone can give you, luteinizing hormone can give you different type of rhythm features depending upon how you measure and what times you measure. Can we go to the next one, please? Yeah. So how can you control it? Change it. Change the period. What is period? Onset of today's to onset of tomorrow. So repeatability of the same phase of the event. आज भूख लगी थी, कल भूख लगेगी, कोई भी. You choose your own marker and then you change it, or you change the amplitude by taking hormones, by taking enzymes, by taking good food, by becoming more happy, whatever works for you, right? So you change the amplitude, and because both of them, both of them are interrelated, right? Both of them are interrelated. अगर आप जल्दी जल्दी गाने लगें तो वर्ड डेसिफर नहीं होता है, नहीं. जो ऑर्केस्ट्रा सुनने जाइए और एक जो बड़ा वाला भोपू होता है वो बजने लगे, या बैंड में देखिए तो कुछ सुनाई पड़ता है, नहीं सुनाई पड़ता, ओवरटेक कर लेता है. ऐसे कोई आपका फ्रेंड ज बोलने लगे तो कैसे मिलेगा? देखिए टंग निकल रही है, जो भी निकल रहा है एक स्पीड में, एक इंटरवल में निकल रहा है तो शब्द बन रहा है, और नहीं तो आवाज बन जाएगी, शब्द नहीं बनेगा. कोयल से कौवा हो जाएगा वो, है ना. अब नेक्स्ट पे चलिए. एम्पलीट्यूड कंट्रोल, सो you can change, and the whole drug philosophy is based on this, whether you control the period or you control the phase. Next please. Because if you want to change it, you apply a drug at a particular time of the day, you can shift. Otherwise, if you go to San Francisco, you won't be able to adjust. So your rhythm is very adjustable, right? So, but it all depends. If you want to work at night, make it happen. But then you always sleep during the daytime and work at night time. You live on a San Francisco time in India, in Pune. But problem is you can't change the society. किसी का फोन आएगा, सड़क पे कारें दौड़ती रहेंगी, है ना, ट्रक दौड़ते रहेंगे. आप क्या करेंगे? क्योंकि बाकी की लाइफ आप चेंज नहीं कर रहे हैं. अदरवाइज वेरी हैप्पीली यू कैन चेंज. आपको ग्रोसरी दिन में खरीदने जानी है, otherwise body is very flexible. So I always advise to people that okay, if you want to work at night, please schedule your all activity. Most importantly, your waking, sleep and wake, as madam suggested, but more if you can't, at least your food. If you are flying to London, if you try, I mean, although I preach, I don't try myself. But you can, because I'm foodie. So you can change your food timing 2 days before. You start eating at a London time. You skip 1 day and then you start, and when you reach there, your jet lag would be lower than it should be. Can we go to the next one, please? Yeah. So suffice to say that you can do the amplitude control, you can do the period control, you can do the phase control. Either you apply drug internally or you change the externally, which is light dark cycle and food cycle. So they can reset your whole clock. Next one, please. Make no mistakes, they all have a structural basis. So in your brain, each type of whether interval timing, whether biological timing, other time, they are not controlled by the same center. So for interval time, those start treating the suprachiasmatic nucleus because that's not the center, it's the basal ganglia. So there are different, so time perceptions. Think about tomorrow you have to catch flight. So you tell yourself that I want to get up at 3 o'clock. And I bet you will get up at 2:30 a.m. Suprachiasmatic nucleus says you to sleep, but your interval time says you. और पहले के ज़माने में हम लोग की माताएं गांव में कहती थी कि चूल्हे को बता दीजिए कि हमको सवेरे उठना है, तो वो अपना उठ जाती थी. फिर बाद में हमारे पिताजी कहते भी तकिया को अपने बोल दो कि हमको सवेरे उठना है. They didn't know the chronobiology, but they knew anecdotal evidence. So people practice. They are all intelligent people. They apply the science in a different ways. And that's what we have to recognize, how we can talk in their own language to make the chronobiology happen. So next, please. So this is one thing which now scientists are making use of it, earning a lot of money. In Delhi, I know the neurologist who left the AIMS, opened their new clinic, and to reach to them, you have to spend like 2 hours first to talk to their different layers. 4,000 rupees you have to pay upfront to be able to see the madam. She will tell you how you should sleep, what is sleep hygiene, and so on. Which my mother used to tell me anyway, right? I don't know why. What are we worried of? I mean, if you didn't score well, you didn't score well. Why, if I'm retired, right? What is the big deal about it? Everybody retires. If you have to die, you have to die. What is the big deal about it? If you are not that handsome, you are not that handsome. That's finished, right? But you are you. If you are not earning crores of rupees, that's okay. Can you get to a square meal, right? I don't know why the people need the assistance for sleeping. Because they are in a sort of competition, they don't understand themselves, they don't believe in our Indian philosophy. Karmanevadhikarsthe ma phalesu kadachan. If you remember a few times, you don't have to spend 4,000 rupees to go to madam, and nobody can give you any drug so far. They give you melatonin, which I wrote 96. It's panacea, but nobody knows how it works. I have also taken it, so I know for jet lag it can make you sleep better a couple of days. Or they give you some, I was funded by Servier France, and they were not happy because I didn't give any positive result after 1 year. So they discontinued my grant because I didn't get it right. So how should I lie, right? So anyway, but think about this is day and night problem becomes when you don't respect the nature. What is the day made for? Engage with the world, obtain resources, create shelter, tools, move place to place, make social contact, receive information. 16 hours you have to do it every day. If you are retired like me, you also shouldn't sleep. In my house, I don't sleep. My grandson and I, there are 2 persons who don't sleep during the day. Even during COVID, we never used to sleep, right? 16 hours, if I sleep even for half an hour, I'm not going to be able to sleep when I lie on bed. I sleep within 3 minutes or 2 minutes. But I don't go to bed unless I need to sleep, right? Then what is night made for? Big drug to safe place, grow, repair, damage, fight disease, consolidate memory, and rebalance emotions. Right? Now, can we go to the next one, please? Now, what happens if you don't respect it? So this cycle, you are happy, happiest person you can sleep if you can sleep well. Worst kind of worry is if you don't sleep. If you are sleeping, word is yours. You are not sleeping, word is enemies. Your microbiome gets disrupted. Your hormonal balance gets disrupted. Your cognitive power loses. You get more worried. You develop cancer. You develop all sort of things. Right? Acidity, reflux, go to eat pantoprazole and so on and so forth, whatever you want to do. Now this lady, 2019 I think, she lived like 500 some odd days, right? Sprinter, very courageous French lady, re-established the whole field again just 5-6 years ago, and that, you know, just to again that sleep wake is a real property of body. It's not day and night property. So they are not asking you to be awake, but if you are awake and happens during your daytime, you get advantage of all the things which we talked about in the previous slide. Can we go to the next one, please? And then, because these are, go ahead, because we have only a few minutes. So now these all things need to be very balanced, right? So to suffice to say that we are like any machine, right? You know, now artificial intelligence has come. They will map out everything. They will repurpose the whole drug. And this is the time for Indian scientists, Ayurveda scientists, to map out everything if we want to fight. Otherwise, we will have House Ministry and we will have all, you know, these bright scientists. They will talk, but nobody will listen in Delhi anyway, right? So this is where so now can we do all this, you know, we have to consider that like any other, our body operates on a certain principle. Can we go ahead for that, please? And then, and this is, madam touched it, just go ahead. This is based on transcriptome. This is one of the important cycle which liver does, ureagenesis. Look at different enzymes, different synthesis enzymes. They are all doing. Think about if liver doesn't work, what's going to happen. Urea is going to be accumulated and then all sort of things. So as you are sitting here, your machine is going, and these are listed things: carbohydrate metabolism, lipid metabolism, amino acid detoxification, and so on and so forth. So everything is running, right? Can we go next one, please? And then this is what known. Go ahead, because we don't want to keep them. Go ahead, okay, go further, because this will not work on it. And somebody is going to talk about it, so I leave it. Next one, please. Is it only SCN? No. It's omnipresent. Your skin has a clock, your gut has a clock, your liver has a clock, your kidney has a clock. So it's Gurde da Mamla. It's your heart has a clock. You know, wherever you want, the clock is there, right? There is our local. So go to the next one. So there is again, go to next one, please. But you know, the all SCN is still considered to be the principal one to maintain the temporal order, and these are all, you know, some of the loops. Think about your drugs only works on certain loops. So you don't treat the disease, you treat the symptom. That's it. So far, if you maintain your sleep-wake cycle and food cycle, then you hit the problem. You maintain your body. But if you take the drug, you only try to contain that particular disease because it works only on a certain molecular pathway or physiological pathway. Next one, please. And then human disease phenotypes are controlled. This is the problem, not by one gene. There are multiple genes, many genes. For example, madam touched the autism. There are 2,000 odd genes they are involved in spectrum. I know my grandson is affected now by autism now, and we are really struggling for last 4 years, we know everything, most of the things. We take to different doctors, different, they have no clue. There is no drug, there is nothing. You go to the Cephali, she will, give you some neurological drug we don't want to take. You go to the behavioral therapy, and so on and so forth, because we don't know. So anyway, because these, go ahead. Yeah, next one, please. So therefore, there are, just suffice to say, only you read because that's one very small, local tissue oscillator, molecular loops, local output gene, clock dependent physiology, and clock dependent pathology. It's really a challenge. If you don't respect your biological clock, we are in a real problem. And I tell you for a fact, our young generation is a real problem. We were not in problem. You go to these BPOs, you go to these companies. We wanted to do, these companies didn't allow us. I wanted to, delegate to one of my lady professor student, and then CEOs declined any permission. So we thought that we will give money to the workers. I mean, they agreed, and it was going to be funded by Amita Sehgal, who is a friend in Pennsylvania. But then we couldn't figure out how I can take money. She said, I can give you the money. I said, but I can't take the money, right? I don't want to go to Tihar, right, by Kofi Posa. So we abandoned the project. It was on metabolomics. How will you disrupt? So this is a real problem. Reproductive capability is reducing because affiliative behavior is reducing. Everything is, you see, the friendship and other things, they are very superficial. Man to women relationship is very downsized. Their life is very short, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. Divorce rate is happening. Domestic violence is happening. Domestic quarrel is happening. The only pair they want to satisfy with buying gifts. That's the only in modern days. And our 1.4 whatever billion people, we are in a real danger of losing the capital in coming years. So it's real. Think about the diabetes cost which is on our, I calculated when I was applying for Indo-US Foundation, which I successfully got 2 times, just to calculate the cost, because the government only listens in terms of money. So 66 billion rupees. Think about even one person, at least 65 rupees drug per day. If it is not on insulin, my wife is on insulin, it's 300 rupees per day. So I can afford it, 18,000 rupees. Part of it I get from the University of Delhi. So for me it's 50%, but think about other. I also take the medicine because I am not able to change my lifestyle. And you ask me because I have a wife. So, I have to choose between two, right? So I choose diabetes than my wife. She is excellent to cook. 45 years, 50 years married. Got married at the age of 17. So 50 years married. She loves to cook. Carbohydrate cooking. We are Brahmins, vegetarian, Ethiopian. And I love to eat. That makes her happy. She is doing fine. And my daughter advised me, why don't you take metformin rather than, So I said, fine, right, I'll take it. Life is finite. Now you see here, disrupted by modern life, aging, dementia, and let's go ahead, please, go ahead. Go ahead. We can, so light resets and food resets the body clock. That's what my research was. Next. Yeah, go ahead, please go ahead. So, go ahead again. So now smart people are devising the drugs, right? People want to make money. Clinics are opened to make you sleep better. Drug company are designing travelogue. You take some medicine so that you can sleep better, and after a couple of days you will be fine anyway. Next. And then, this is real for heart disease. This is what the prednisone does. So but you need to take at the right time. Our doctors in India don't know it. They prescribe it anyway. But it's Cincinnati Children's Hospital. They are, anyway,
I took it from there. I visited them, so I took it from there. That's how, so we have to find out in Ayurveda how they are available. Problem is we don't know. Next one, please. So in a couple of minutes, how we can do it. So think about online chess, Twitter, and education. So if you want to know about your students, you can gather all these data. Next one, please. You don't have to have a lab, because the Twitter text analysis activity, text get again, please. So social network where people write, right? Just be here. Because if you know all these, you can understand. कब लिखा भाई इन्होंने, किस जोन पे हैं, क्या लिखा? No, it's not going to be the same letter to your boyfriend or girlfriend if you are not written at proper time of the day. And this is a danger. So don't try to write something. Don't start into argument. So at my house, when I was in a regular job, 10 o'clock means when we used to have dot phone, at 10 o'clock we'll put the receiver somewhere else. As I don't want, and it was a strict advice to my wife as well, मुझे कुछ भी बताना है तो जब मैं डिपार्टमेंट से आता हूँ कि पड़ोस ने क्या कहा, तो किसने कुत्ता यहाँ लाया या जो किया, या मेरी बहन ने क्या कहा, सब मुझको आने के बाद बता दिया करो, मैं सब सुन लूँगा, फिर नहाऊंगा, खाना खाऊंगा, उसके बाद मैं सोऊंगा। सोने के पहले कुछ नहीं बताना। ये आप लोगों के लिए भी एजुकेशन, नेवर टॉक टू योर स्पाउस in bed, right? I mean, except some of the other things. Don't, disturbing things. Because if you release cortisol, then reduce melatonin, and then sleep is disrupted, the consequence is disrupted sleep, right? And then metabolism, and then so on and so on and so forth. आजकल के मॉडर्न युग में, और ख़ास तौर से मैडम की तरह जो प्रोफेशनल लोग हैं, मैं देखा हूँ अपने मित्रों में, जिनके दोनों लोग, हम लोग कहते हैं DIG, डबल इनकम ग्रुप, घर पहुंचे नहीं, किसकी कलीग ने क्या कहा, और सब चालू, और एक दूसरे को एडवाइस, अरे तुमको ये कहना चाहिए था, ओ तुमको ये कहना चाहिए था, why didn't you say this, pick up the phone and say this. I mean, they make their life miserable by discussing the work in home, right? Now for that they need a teacher to tell them work life balance. इतनी छोटी सी चीज है, वो हमारे जो कथाकार थे मोटिवेटर बन गए हैं, सब मोटिवेट कर रहे हैं. पीपल हैव ओपन शॉप्स. डोंट हैव साइकोलॉजी प्रोफेसर टू गिव मोटिवेशनल स्पीच. नो, these are people, I don't know from where they have come up. This is a good, they take like 50, you call somebody, I will not name, they will take lakhs of rupees to go to IIT and talk about motivation. They have never been to IIT. They were simply Hindi Kabhi. And now they are talking motivation. I mean, it's a simple thing, right? Just, आप हमको एक भी रुपया नहीं दे रहे हैं, हम बता रहे हैं ना आपको. देखिए, okay. Now next, which is very important, academic performance grades. Next one. Now, if you see, I don't know in Pune, but if you go to Delhi, कड़ाके की सर्दी है, 6:30 बजे बच्चे अपना पहन के जब जा रहे हैं, मैडमें भी तैयार होकर जा रही हैं. बेचारी सोचो, रात को उन्होंने 11 बजे तक खाना बनाया होगा, बच्चे पढ़ रहे होंगे, उसके बाद उन्होंने सवेरे उठा है, कैसे भी जा रही हैं वो. ना वो खुश हैं, ना बच्चे खुश हैं. और हम लोग एग्जाम कब लेते हैं? 7 से 10 और 3 से 6. और भाई, जब हम जानते हैं कि कुछ लोग लार्क हैं, कुछ लोग आउल हैं, कुछ लोग सुबह नहीं जगते हैं, कुछ लोग शाम को नहीं जगते हैं, है ना, जल्दी सोते हैं, कुछ देर से सोते हैं, कुछ बीच के हैं, तो हम 3 बार क्यों एग्जाम न लें प्रेफरेंस पर? जर्मनी, ब्राजील, इन सब जगहों पर 1.5 घंटे उन्होंने डिले किया स्कूल, और ग्रेड्स बच्चों के अच्छे हो गए. हमारे यहाँ कहते रहिए आप, 16 साल से तो हम भी कह रहे हैं, कोई सुनता नहीं है. कोई नहीं सुनता, क्योंकि आप फॉर्मुलेशन बॉडी में नहीं है. 6:30 बजे उनको कहिए तो 12 बजे 1 बजे घर जाना है. मैडम लोगों को बच्चा रिसीव करना है अपना स्कूल से, तो उनको पहले पहुंचना है. तो we don't think, we only think about convenience, but we don't think about our body, about our nature, right? So we have to have all these kind of thing, going on in us. Next one, please. I think the last one we have come, and this is the most important one. Thank you so very much. I can take you. I know I've taken 45 minutes, I think, but that's what the time they had given me. So we can discuss nitty-gritty mechanism, but I didn't want to discuss that because that will you will leave anyway. So I'm going to be here till Prashant wants me today, and we'll be happy to answer your question. But ask ma'am; she has more, and she made my life so easy just to making the conclusion. But this is true. Light at night disturbs microbiome. We did in crow. We published this. We did in zebrafinch. We published this. We published mood performance. We published yesterday. I gave all those cognitive neuroscience in MIT University Noida, and this lactobacillus bacteria, the whole population gets disturbed. इसलिए दही दोपहर को खा लीजिए तो ठीक रहता है, तो how can you resurrect it? And we also did all those exercises how you can mitigate it just by even if you have to be really sleep at least 2-3 hours you plan so that you have a dark night. जितना हो एक कर्टन और खरीद लीजिए. मैं आप सोचिए मैडम कल भी जाके गेस्ट हाउस में 11:30 बजे मैंने अपने सामने वाली लाइट को बंद करके आया बाहर चुपचाप. हमने कहा क्योंकि वो लाइट आती है ना, आप अगर लाइट आएगी और रात में जग गए आप टॉयलेट भी जाइए तो लाइट ना जलाइए रात को. कई अरे आपका टॉयलेट है, आप जानते हो कहाँ टॉयलेट है ना, आपको क्या जरूरत है पूरी लाइट जला करके. आपने अपना डिसरप्ट कर दिया रिदम, और फिर आप आएंगे अल्टेंगे पलटेंगे, सारी बातें आपको याद आएंगी. मतलब प्रॉब्लम ये है कि जैसे रात को आप जगते हैं वो बातें सब याद आती हैं. अब जैसे आज हमको आएंगे तो अच्छी बात आएंगी कि मानसी ने इतनी बढ़िया चाय पिलाई ये किया, लेकिन अगर किसी दिन नहीं आई तो वो याद है, सब आता है. सवेरे जगिए तो उठ जाइए प्लीज, नहीं तो कौन सा किसने आपके साथ खराब काम किया है वो सब याद आएगा आपको. तो योर डे विल बी. इसीलिए हमारे सभ्यता में है कि उठिए तो भगवान का आप नाम लीजिए, पृथ्वी माता को हाथ लगाइए. ये सब जानबूझ के किया गया है. इट विल सेट योर रिदम. यूज in jargon it will entrain your rhythm, it will set your day, right? So thank you so very much, and we can if she allows we can take up the questions.
ऐसे करेंगे, sir is here with us for the whole day, so we can discuss him in person also. He'll be there during the panel discussion also, so that time also we can have some questions if you have in your mind. So basically thank you very much sir for this enlightening and thoughtful thought-provoking keynote address. Your insights have beautifully connected the science of biological rhythms with real-world applications, and inspired us to think deeper and with the harmony between time, biology and timekeeping. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. And something very pleasing happened in my last couple of months. I met both of them, my future INSA president, in a meeting in Delhi. He didn't recognize me, but I went and introduced myself. And to madam as well. So when I saw both names, then I called Prashant and I said, well, that's the one treat that we will be meeting both of them. So at least we met madam. And I know I'll meet sir anyway from distance. Because he's going to be 3 years our president of Indian National Science Academy.
yes, thank you, sir. So ऐसा करेंगे, next session we will start with after 15 minutes. So in these 15 minutes we can go and have a look which posters are already there. If suppose you people have not put up the posters, please go and put up the posters also. So other also will come after 15 minutes. So maybe around exactly 12:45. So 12:45 we'll gather here again, and we will start with the next session with Kalpana Joshi ma'am. Yeah, thank you so much.